Ever since Avengers Endgame, Marvel Studios has spent the last several years ramping up its next big bad, Kang the Conqueror. With the conclusion of the second season of Loki, the plot can now start being set with how dangerous of a villain Kang is and why he's 100 times more dangerous than Thanos. We know the Avengers are going to have their chance to fight the Council of Kangs in Avengers the Kang Dynasty, and potentially the Beyonder in Avengers Secret Wars. However, the question remains, how do you defeat a villain that exists in what seems like every universe? The answer is simple. You don't. Here's my theory on how the Avengers, along with the Fantastic Four, X-Men, and other superhero organizations, will take on and defeat the multiverse of Kangs and close the multiverse storyline. In the Disney Plus series Loki, He Who Remains constantly insists that no matter what happens, he will end up right back where he belongs at his citadel at the end of time, despite Sylvie killing him in the season 1 finale. He will actually prove to be right. We overheard the Time Variance Authority, the TVA, is already tracking and hunting He Who Remains variants. They will soon discover the power that they have given their advanced technology and knowledge from the 31st century, thus making the call out to the multiverse for help, starting with the Avengers. After the TVA explains to the Avengers just how serious the threat is, Earth's mightiest heroes will make a call for help across both space and time, recruiting the Fantastic Four and the X-Men in the process. Once their army has amassed to a significant degree, the TVA will begin hunting He Who Remains variants or the Council of Kangs across the multiverse. This is where trouble will begin taking place, as Kang the Conqueror and Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania alluded to.
You think this is new to me? Do you know how many rebellions I have put down? No. How many worlds I've conquered? How many Avengers I've killed? And you think you can beat me? I am Kang!
The TVA and the Avengers will be able to start defeating the Kangs, but sacrifice some heroes every time they do so, thus calling for a new strategy. It will then be proposed to attempt to have the Kang variants churn on each other, then allowing for the Avengers to only fight weakened variants. It will then appear that the number of Kang variants will start decreasing significantly, using their own hunger for conquering to kill each other. Just when all seems to be going well, the Avengers will stumble upon Immortus, the self-proclaimed master of time. He will admit defeat, but also inform the Avengers that they too have already lost. Just after striking the final blow, a few of the Avengers will begin to suddenly disappear, similar to those lost in the snap at the end of Avengers Infinity War. One of these Avengers is Peter Parker, who wakes up in a world far different than his home. He will notice other heroes have joined him, but some of them look far different than the ones he was just fighting alongside. He will also notice some familiar foes joined in company with new faces Marvel fans have seen before, such as Doctor Doom. A figure will introduce himself having the same physical appearance as He Who Remains, but with a new name, the Beyonder. This is where Avengers the Kang Dynasty will come to a close and where Avengers Secret Wars will begin. The Beyonder will claim to have brought the heroes and villains to a world called the Battle Realm, where only the mightiest heroes and villains have been selected to fight each other to the death for the Beyonder's entertainment. This will actually be simply for the Beyonder to grow into the most powerful Kang variant by knowing the strengths and weaknesses of every hero and villain in their primes. We will see iconic battles take place, including the one where Doctor Doom has an encounter with Thanos, resulting in Doom ripping out Thanos' spine and reducing him to ash, giving the audience a clear understanding of just how powerful each being is in the battle realm. After many skirmishes between heroes and their most iconic foes, both sides will acknowledge that fighting is not going to be how they escape the hell of the battle realm. This will cause an alliance to be formed between Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom, who will use their combined knowledge to discover a way to escape the battle realm. As a sad moment for audiences, this will be that they will have to destroy whatever or whoever is keeping the multiverse intact. Loki. Thor will learn of this and refuse to allow it to take place, only being convinced by Loki himself that it is the only way to prevent a never-ending war between universes. The Beyonder will rush to stop Thor, Richards, and Doom from destroying the multiverse, but will be too late as his body will turn into the strands of a dying universe. Audiences will slowly see each of the heroes and villains suffer the same fate, holding on to hope that they will be reborn into a new universe, a new sacred timeline where no evil variants of Kang exist. The screen will slowly go to white and will fade back to reality with Peter Parker waking up in a small house in Queens, New York, with Aunt May making breakfast downstairs. It will almost feel like a strange dream, but his spider sense will tell him it simply wasn't. Surprised that his aunt is now suddenly alive, Peter will be overcome with joy. After sharing a moment with her, he will leave to find the Sanctum Sanctorum to talk to Doctor Strange about what has happened. On his way, he will observe the Avengers Tower east of Central Park and the Baxter Building not too far from the Sanctum. All heroes will meet at the Sanctum to have their memories restored by Doctor Strange, revealing the multiversal war that they supposedly fought and how they had won. Thor will realize that his brother remains dead, along with Iron Man, Captain America, and other heroes who sacrifice themselves for the greater good. Observing from the new TVA will be Mobius, who has no recollection of the multiverse before and still worshipping the 3 timekeepers that are supposedly running the TVA when it really is he who remains back at the end of time. Exactly as he said it would happen. The final moments of the film show each hero now living their lives in a new sacred timeline. Tom Holland's Peter Parker will be last seen as he swings into the New York sunset, continuing to be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man he promised Tony Stark he would be.